We learned that late interaction preserves multiple vectors per document, one for each token. This gives us fine-grained representations that can capture nuanced semantic content. But this raises an important question. How do we actually measure similarity between two sets of vectors? With single vector search, it's straightforward. You compute the cosine similarity or dot product between two vectors. But when you have dozens or hundreds of vectors on each side, how do you combine them into a single relevance score? The answer is MaxSim, the core distance metric for late interaction models. MaxSim stands for maximum similarity. It's how we compare sets of vectors in late interaction models. Here's how it works. For each query token, we compute its similarity with every document token and take the maximum. We find the best match for that query token. Then we sum all those maximum similarities together. Each query token contributes its best match to the total score. The total MaxSim score is the sum of these best matches across all query tokens. Let's walk through a concrete example to make this clear. Query Apple computer with two meaningful tokens. Document Apple makes the MacBook laptop with 5 tokens. The query token Apple computes its similarity with every document token. Apple makes the MacBook laptop and takes the maximum. It matches best with Apple in the document with similarity 0.92. The query token computer does the same. It finds its maximum match, which is MacBook, semantically related even though they are different words. Similarity 0.87. We sum them. In total, it's 1.79. This is the MaxSim score for this query document pair. This diagram shows the matching process. Query tokens on the left, document tokens across the bottom. We compute similarities between all pairs, find the maximum in each row, one for each query token, and sum them. This sum is the MaxSim similarity between the query and the document. Now, here's where things get interesting, and where we encounter the first major challenge. MaxSim of Q and D does not equal MaxSim of D and Q. The formula isn't symmetric. Why? Because we iterate over query tokens and find their best matches in the document. Our query has 2 tokens, the document has 5. If we swap them, iterate over document tokens instead, we would sum 5 maximum similarities instead of 2. That's fundamentally different computation. If we reverse the computation, iterate over document tokens instead of query tokens, we get a different number. This diagram shows the reverse calculation. Notice how we now have 5 rows instead of 2, summing 5 maximum similarities. This demonstrates concretely why the direction matters. This breaks HNSW. Graph-based indexes like HNSW require symmetric distances to build static neighbor relationships. If the distance from A to B doesn't equal the distance from B to A, the graph construction fails. The solution is two-stage retrieval. Use a fast symmetric method for initial retrieval, then apply MaxSim only for re-ranking the candidates. We'll cover this detail in Module 3. MaxSim gives us a way to compare multi-vector representations, capturing fine-grained semantic matching that single vector search cannot achieve. Each query token independently finds its best match, and the aggregation ensures we reward documents with strong matches to all parts of the query. But as we've seen, MaxSim introduces significant computational challenges. The asymmetry breaks traditional indexing approaches. Before we dive into those optimizations though, let's step back and ask a practical question. When is multi-vector search actually worth it? The added complexity has to pay for itself in improved results. In the next lesson, we'll explore use cases where multi-vector search excels, scenarios where the improved relevance and semantic precision justify the additional computational cost.